I'm Deanna Willman, and this is our first part on carrier oils. Remember, I told you if you've been going through the essential oils that the carrier oils are a whole different story or a different video because there's so much more to them, and I didn't want to put them all in the same video with the essential oils. So, and this is a separate class as well. There's just so much that you can go over with this carrier oils that it just makes a class too long if I combine it with the essential oils. So anyway, this is part one, and I hope that we can give you some information that is very beneficial to you. First off, what are carrier oils? Carrier oils are, they're called carrier oils because they carry the essential oil into the skin or over a great area of the skin. It's just basically a base oil or a vegetable oil that is used to dilute your essential oils. Now remember, we said that there were two reasons for having a carrier oil, and the first one is to dilute the essential oil to protect your skin from any reactions to intense properties within the essential oil. For instance, I told you in one of the videos that cinnamon and myrrh will definitely burn the skin. Even just a drop will burn your skin. It'll turn real red like you have a real bad burn. So if you have a carrier oil with it, then it won't do that. It'll allow you to use it without burning the skin or hurting it in any way. The second purpose for having a carrier oil is to allow a tiny bit of essential oil to be spread over a greater area of your skin. One drop of lavender, I might get into this amount of area, but if I put it with a carrier oil, I can actually put it into my entire arm and even further. So that's what carrier oils are for. They just have a twofold purpose, and there's nothing mysterious or magical about them. It's just that they carry the oils further into the skin. Okay, and today, this video, I'm going to talk about 5 of them. And then the next video I'll do another 5 and so on. I do a total of 19 carrier oils that you're likely to find out there, and most of them are pretty easy to find and pretty reasonably priced. So we'll start off with apricot oil. Apricot oil is one of my favorites. It's very versatile. You can use it in almost anything for any reason, and it will work on almost any skin. There's hardly anybody who will ever have any kind of reaction to it. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful for aging skin. So if you do your own skincare, this is a great oil to be using. It is anti-aging and anti-inflammatory. It's also antioxidant, and it is antibacterial and antiseptic. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if you use it in your skincare or skin cleansers, you don't have to worry about bacteria building up because it's antibacterial. It is an antioxidant, so it will help fight the free radicals that cause us to age faster. And it's just a very wonderful, light, and easily absorbed oil, so it's great. Now it does come from the apricot kernels. It's pressed, and so make sure you want to find one that's cold pressed or cold expeller pressed. Those are the best ones. They don't have any extra chemicals, and they haven't gone rancid from the heat that's with regular pressing or other processing of oils. Now apricot oil has a shelf life of 1 year, but it must be refrigerated. So if you got apricot oil, make sure you have it in the refrigerator, and make sure that after 1 year, if you still have it, if you haven't used it all up by then, which you probably will, that you just switch it out, just for your own safety and well-being. Okay, the second one I want to talk about is argan oil. Argan oil has recently become extremely popular here in America. It's been used for centuries over in Europe and Asia, but it's just recently become real popular, and you'll find it in our shampoos and lotions and skincare, and it's the latest buzzword, argan oil. So what is it that the Europeans knew before we did? Well, they know that argan oil is extremely high in vitamin E, and we all know that vitamin E is very good for the skin. It is also an antioxidant. It is an anti-inflammatory, so if you have skin issues, it's a good one to use, especially for eczema. It absorbs quickly, and there's absolutely no oily feeling. It's a great anti-aging oil, and that's why you find it in a lot of skincares just recently. Argan oil also helps heal wounds and protects the liver and prevents spikes in blood sugar, which is an amazing thing in an oil. And so if you happen to be a diabetic, it's a good one to be using just here and there, and especially if you're using cinnamon to help keep your blood sugar levels regulated. Argan oil also supports the cardiovascular system. It does not irritate skin issues. We talked about how it's anti-inflammatory, and it actually reduces the natural oiliness of your skin. So if you have naturally oily skin and you're trying to deal with that, argan oil is a good one to put into your cleanser and your moisturizer because it'll help reduce some of that oiliness, yet you'll still be moisturized. You do need to keep argan oil out of heat and humidity, so you don't want it anywhere where it can be in either of those. So the bathroom's not a good place to take care of it. A dark pantry, perfect place. If your bedroom doesn't have a lot of light, that's a good place as well. Argan oil has a shelf life of 6 months to 1 year. So that's argan oil. The next one I want to talk about is avocado oil. Avocados, some of you may have already experienced avocado oil if you're doing your own shampoos or scalp treatments or even some of your own facial treatments. I remember back from the 70s, as far back as the 1970s, people doing face masks with avocado and just how that was the greatest thing. And of course, as a little kid, I was like, why would anyone put food on their face? But the thing is that avocado has so much to offer, and so the oil does too. Now this one too comes from the pit. It is cold pressed. You want it cold pressed out of the pit, and that's where the avocado oil comes from. Avocado oil is a natural sunscreen, so if you're making your own sunscreens, this is a great oil to put in with what you're doing. It helps your body absorb fat-soluble nutrients. So like if you're taking something, vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. It has to be absorbed through the fat. It has to have fat in order for the body to be using it. So avocado oil is a good one for that. Especially if you're using vitamin A for any kind of skincare, or if you just are trying to increase your vitamin A, whatever reason, avocado oil is real good to be doing with that. Avocado oil also contains potassium, folic acid, beta-carotene, vitamins A, B1, B2, D, and E. And so, of course, E is real good for skin. It's an antioxidant, so is vitamin A. This is a very good source of vitamin D, as well as getting your sunshine. Avocado oil may feel a little sticky or waxy when it's first applied, but it's absorbed pretty quickly, and afterward doesn't feel that bad. Usually you'll feel it'll feel more waxy if you're doing a large area of skin. Avocado oil is also anti-inflammatory, so it's good for skin issues. It's also good for issues where you have inflammation, such as joints. If you're experiencing any kind of inflammation within the body that needs to be taken care of, avocado oil is a good way to do that. Avocado oil is beneficial to the skin and to the scalp, especially dry skin and dry scalps. And it's usually added to other carrier oils in order to increase the vitamin content of oils. So a lot of people will mix avocado oil with apricot oil or with castor oil or with any other oil in order to increase the vitamin content. And remember, what you're putting on your skin, you're absorbing into your body. So if you're putting vitamins on your skin, you're going to be absorbing them into your body. The shelf life of avocado oil is 6 to 12 months. It doesn't need to be refrigerated, but it does need to be in a cool, dark place. So again, if you have a dark pantry, perfect place for it to be. Great. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is borage or borage oil, depending upon how you say it. Now, this is one I hadn't heard of until a few years ago, but it doesn't mean that it hasn't been around. It has, and it has been used quite a bit for female issues, but it's great for anybody, really. But I had not heard of it until a few years ago, and I was kind of excited when I found out about it. Borage oil stimulates your skin cells. So it stimulates them to the dead ones to slough off and for new ones to be created. It's a very good one for issues like cradle cap or eczema, hives, any issue with skin, even acne. It's an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, so those are wonderful things. It stimulates the immune system. So if you're kind of down and out, or you're around a lot of people who are sick, like in your workplace or at school, you might want to be using this with some of the essential oils that also stimulate the immune system, just to keep yourself healthy. Borage oil reduces the risk of blood clots. So if you have had surgery, or you know someone who's had surgery, it's a great thing to massage into their legs, massage into their body, and it will help prevent the blood clots forming while the person is recuperating. Also, if you do a lot of sitting or a lot of standing during the day, it's a good oil to use to help prevent blood clots. Anyway, it also lowers blood pressure, and it's an excellent moisturizer. It's also a good phytoestrogen. Now, phytoestrogens are estrogens that are in plants, and normally they're not real strong estrogens, but there are good phytoestrogens, and then there are phytoestrogens that actually interrupt the process of the body metabolizing estrogen. Borage oil is a good one, and that's why it's been used so much for female issues, although it can be used for anyone. And it's not going to give you an overabundance of estrogen, so men can use it without worrying that they're suddenly going to have a bunch of estrogen in their body and start looking or feeling like women. But it's a good one if you are needing a little bit extra estrogen, or it's a real good one for menopause, if you're going through menopause and you're having issues. If your progesterone is good, but you're just lacking some of your estrogen, this is a good oil to be using. Borage oil is also very helpful for inflamed joints, and they found a great deal of success in using it with patients who have rheumatoid arthritis. So you might make up your a mixture with borage oil and some essential oils such as peppermint, frankincense, myrrh, a couple of the others that are really good for the joints or anti-inflammatory, and just keep that around. And if you have achy or stiff joints, or if you have pain in them, then it would be a good thing to put into them. And they found that it's especially helpful to people with rheumatoid arthritis. Now, borage oil you don't want to use while you're pregnant, because it could very possibly induce labor. All right, borage oil is, if it has to be refrigerated, and if it is refrigerated, it has a good shelf life of 6 months. All right. This is one of those that's often mixed with another in order to extend the shelf life. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about in this video is camellia seed oil. And a lot of people are already aware of the camellia plant. They just may not know it by that name. That's the plant from which we get tea. We get black, green, and white tea from camellia. Now, the camellia seed is pressed to produce an oil, but it still has all the benefits of the tea leaves. It protects skin from free radical damage. It's an antioxidant, and so it's also anti-aging. It's easily absorbed into the skin without any greasy feeling, but it leaves you very moisturized. Great moisturizer, especially if you have dry skin. It's also an antimicrobial and an insecticide. And one of the neat things about camellia seed oil is that it will induce healing in wounds. So if you have a wound, camellia seed oil will actually induce or instigate, speed up the healing of that wound. Kind of like geranium. In fact, I would put a little bit of geranium essential oil with it, and that would be a fantastic wound healer. Camellia seed is also great for the hair because it promotes hair growth, and it's a good conditioner for the hair. It's also an analgesic, and remember we talked about how that's a pain reliever. It's astringent, it boosts the immune system, and it can prevent cancer. We know that people have been drinking green tea and white tea to prevent cancer. Same thing with the seed oil. It can also prevent cancer. It's high in omega-3, and camellia seed has actually a 2-year shelf life. So it's a great one, and you don't have to keep it refrigerated. Just keep it in a cool, dry place. So those are the first 5 I wanted to talk about today in this video, and in the next video I'll talk about 5 more. And I just hope that this has been short enough that you've been able to sit and watch the whole thing, but give you enough information that you feel that you can go out and experiment and use some of these wonderful oils. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Shalom.